Hello and welcome to Unleashing Your Inner Dragon, talks on Bruce Lee, psychology, philosophy, and the powers of personal liberation. In this talk, I'm going to put our focus onto a huge aspect of Bruce Lee's psychological spiritual teachings. So huge, in fact, that his daughter, Shannon, wrote a book called Be Water, My Friend. And this aspect of water features very prominently in the sort of Bruce Lee way of thinking. And there's great emphasis placed on water being, for example, very, very flexible and adaptable. In other words, that the idea is that water will flow around an object. You know, if you put a stone in front of a body of flowing water, it will simply flow around it. Bruce also sort of talked about the idea that water will crash and it will wear away a rock. He also talked, of course, very famously about you put it into a container and the water becomes that container. So put it into a teapot, it becomes a teapot, etc. So great emphasis on this adaptability stroke flexibility power of water. And I'm going to give you a slightly different take on that because there's two very important things that were missed. Two very important qualities of water that were totally ignored. One, water can be solid. Obviously, we see that in the power of an iceberg, which sank the Titanic. So water, not only as water, has different abilities, but water has the power to freeze and become solid. Now, with all the emphasis on flexibility, you may wonder, well, what is so good about being solid? Well, sometimes solid may be in your life a really viable path to take. Yes, it's great to be flexible. Yes, it's great to be adaptable, but sometimes maybe you need to adopt ice. You need to be firm. You need to be absolutely solid. That's an option that can sometimes be very useful. And the second thing that's often ignored is that at the other end of the scale, of course, water disappears. It simply evaporates when heated. It becomes steam. It changes completely. It disappears. You know, you put water into a kettle and keep boiling it, no more water. It actually disappears. And that's another way of being in the world that we can all sometimes use. Sometimes, maybe in a dispute with someone, maybe in a conflict situation, the best solution is to disappear for a while. Just go. Silence. Nothing. So the water metaphor, the water concept, the water idea goes way beyond just water itself, flowing water as we understand it. Water has even more properties, say the property of becoming extremely solid and rigid, and sometimes that can be an approach we need. It can become disappear, just evaporate, gone. So there's even more to learn from water than it at first appears. Even more to take on board about these qualities that Bruce Lee so admired. And it's also interesting to note that this whole philosophy around water actually goes way, way back, because Sun Tzu, in his Art of War, put great emphasis on water. And I believe personally that Bruce Lee actually drew most of his ideas about water and being like water from Sun Tzu 2,500 years ago. So stop for a moment and have a think in your life, ponder. Do you need to be water? Do you need to be ice? Do you need to be steam? All three can help you. Thank you.